What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Outside Line Media podcast. You got a sick Patrick here today, and then Ryan. What's going on with you?
I'm tired. Very tired, Ryan.
But
But
yeah, I've got a paper due in about 5 hours, but we figured this was more important. So
yeah, of course, priorities.
exactly. I mean, it's just my final client project for this class, but who cares about that?
Don't
Uh,
need it.
Last week we had a very slow but very good weekend of racing. We had trucks and Xfinity racing at Rockingham Speedway for the first time in a long time. Really good seeing cars back on there. The repave, we'll have to add a Rockingham race to one of our NASCAR Classics watches to
Yeah.
see how that race compares after the repave.
Yeah, I heard a lot of drivers saying the few drivers, that have crossover there saying it's a completely different track. So
Mm-hmm. Kind of like
cool.
Atlanta after the repave, it went from an intermediate to a super speedway.
So we'll have to see when Cup will eventually come back because it seems inevitable now.
Yeah.
Especially with the turnout. I don't know if anyone saw. I mean, there's probably more people there than Bristol.
It sold out,
It was
so
a sold out
that's
race.
the grandstands there. I'm not sure the grandstand capacity,
I'll look that up.
but the grandstands were completely sold out when I was looking at maybe doing a last minute trip there. Um, but there were still general admission tickets available. I want to say it's around 20,000. I could be completely wrong though, unless they just have the attendance numbers available.
There's 52,000 spectators, but that could be for concerts.
I'm thinking that's for
what.
concerts.
32,000 seat capacity as of 2012.
Okay. But is that
impressive.
might have been before they tore down the back grandstands, though, because there was a second set of grandstands there, I think.
Is that post 2012 when they would have torn them down?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's when all the money was coming in, so I'm guessing that's probably when they did it.
Here's some stuff on r/NASCAR saying it's 30 something.
I would say I could see 30 being total with GA included.
Yeah, sounds about right. So yeah, but good races. Overall, the Return to Rock was a immense success.
Yeah, great race from the Truck Series. I don't think anyone, I mean, obviously, no one was expecting fuel to be that big of a factor in that race. Because we saw the top five basically have to drop out because of fuel mileage.
Yeah, it was a madness at the end of people dying, causing wrecks as a result of them running out of gas, and went from a race that didn't look like a fuel mileage race to very much a fuel mileage race.
The last lap was a fuel mileage race.
Yeah.
And a little fun fact, Ryan, little fun fact about the connection between that truck race and the last not now the last NASCAR race, but the last Kentucky Speedway race he went to.
Yeah, it was the 2019 truck race was the last time that Tyler Ankrum won. And he won again. So it is crazy to think because that feels like ages ago to me. Yeah. So I can only imagine what it feels like to someone who's been doing the same thing since then. I've been through 18 stages of life.
We were seniors in high school the last time this race happened.
That's crazy. Yeah, we were seniors. We were seniors in high school, and you were working on finals in college now, and I am a licensed electrician.
I'm on a 6-year plan in college, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, overall, great race. It's a shame for Jesse Love in the Xfinity race. He won it on track. I'm not sure who inherited that win. I was too depressed after he got DQ'd. Sammy Smith.
Jared Motorsport driver can't be upset about it.
Yeah. I mean, it literally, Jesse Love's a great driver. I love JR Motorsports as well, so I'm not really mad about Sammy Smith. I'm just glad that Chandler Smith didn't win the truck race because it was looking on like he was going to be the only one there until he had the fuel issues.
Yeah, thank God.
Which I haven't seen any update to that whole drama, so
sure to be time on that one, definitely time. But yeah, the races were both pretty good. The Rock was producing some decent racing.
A lot of red flags
Um,
this weekend, though.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
it really was.
2 in the truck race, 1 in the Xfinity race. But like I had turned off the truck race at like lap 90, I think, to go grab some food. And when I got to the gym, I turned it back on my phone, and we were at like lap 111 or something.
Yeah, it was very slow races.
I
I
was
thought,
very
oh, there's no.
confused.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there's no way I catch it, and then I literally caught it like driving the dinner. I
Yeah.
think so. It worked out for me. Um, Truck race was good. Xfinity race equally. I want to put this out here right now. The fact that people were blaming Catherine Legg for wrecking
William
is
Sawalich drove into her.
William Sawalich, notoriously knowing not how to drive corners. Obviously, she's way off the pace, and there is a conversation to be had about it. But
But then
that's
also, is
not her
that just
fault.
the car that she's in?
That too. The bad look on CW. You see the hot mic that got caught?
I did not.
So coming back from commercial break, they're showing Catherine Legg's car, and one of the commentators goes, "She bought her ride,"
Any
in
idea
like a
which
negative
one?
tone. No clue, but negative
Not
tone.
Carson, right? Not Carson.
No, I wasn't Carson
Oh
Hocevar,
yeah,
but I
no, he
wish it
was
was.
commentating trucks, not
Yeah, it wasn't Xfinity. He was at Xfinity in his
he was
Dale
watching
truck.
from the Dale truck.
But yeah, bad look on them. The people blaming them, it's just clearly sexism. It very blatant.
I mean,
Like,
that's what are we expecting? I'm sorry for the chill NASCAR fans out there, but what are we expecting from NASCAR?
yeah, at the end of the day,
I mean,
it's
we
NASCAR.
even see it in IndyCar to a lesser extent in IndyCar because Danica Patrick was actually halfway decent in an IndyCar.
Yeah.
And Catherine Legg is always very hyped up when she's in an IndyCar. I'm very disappointed that she's not running the 500 this year. And
Yeah, me
like
too.
her results, I'll say the same thing for IndyCar. This is why I bring up the car conversation. In IndyCar, she's never been amazing, but she's also been in Dale Coyne machinery the entire time.
Yeah, it's
So
hard to
like,
gauge
how
when
can
there's
we really gauge her
a clear
getting?
car
I mean,
issue.
last year she knocked out an RLL car from the 500. So
She's
I
got
think RLL
pace,
is a lot better at the 500 than Dale
and
Coyne
given
is.
time and a better car, she would compete. There's no doubt that
I'm
Catherine
excited to
Legg
see
can
what she can do
drive the
by the
car.
end of this season. She's running like 8 or 9 races, I want to say,
Yeah, so
which
hopefully,
obviously her Indy 500 budget is going to NASCAR. Good move, probably, because it's buying her a lot more track time. Um, and like, let's look at the entire Xfinity field. Everyone there bought their ride, basically.
yeah,
I think there are very few that. Did you see Corey Days running full time the rest of the season in Xfinity?
I see that. That's awesome.
Hendrick dropped Raja Karuth back down to the Truck Series. He has obviously not had great results in Xfinity. He does drive trucks decently well, though.
Yeah,
But they're putting Corey Day in that car from, I
that'd be
believe,
cool.
Dega onwards.
Fuck yeah.
Very excited to see that because I think Corey Day has the potential to be a great Cup Series driver.
Great. Cordy's got a lot of potential. Final thoughts, truck race. But yeah, Catherine Legg, get off the hate train. The Xfinity race they both were good. I don't
Yeah.
know what to say other than I think this is the test was good. I think we passed the test. I think Rockingham will
Make it one of the
have a Cup
playoff.
Series race.
Make it one of the championship tracks, honestly.
Speaking on playoff tracks, for those that haven't seen the announcement, as in 2020,
Hey, Kyle Larson fans have hope finally. That's all I'm gonna
2026, I
say.
believe
I think it's
it
next
will.
year they're going to
Next year,
Miami.
they're going back to Homestead, Miami for the playoff finals, and then they said it'll be somewhere else in 27, and then
Kentucky Speedway. It's right there for them.
they said it would be on a rotating basis. So I don't know if it'd just be those 3 tracks or if they're going to add a fourth, but
I'm
it's going to be on a rolling
hoping.
thing. So Phoenix will be back, obviously, for the championship.
Disappointing. That
Penske's gonna
means Corey.
Penske's gonna make sure that happens.
Yeah, that
Let's
means
just
Joey
be
Logano is
honest.
going to win more championships.
Penske's going to make sure Joe Logano gets a championship.
I'd
So
rather
back
see
to
a
Phoenix.
Ryan Blaney championship, but we know Penske's not going to let the golden child lose a championship. Yeah, I'm excited for that because Kyle Larson's going to dominate that as long as he gets to
Finals.
the final four. So I could definitely see. I'm already putting it out there. My prediction: NASCAR champion 2026 is going to be Kyle Larson. Because Homestead, Miami, and Kyle Larson, it's his track. It's like Joey Logano in Phoenix.
Yeah, just getting there. Just getting there. That's the.
Yeah, don't have a stupid wreck, dude.
Yeah, like, that's the biggest thing. We're gonna probably, I think, record a State of NASCAR episode where we'll touch more on playoffs.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff
the Bristol episode we promised last week, but we're releasing it this week.
Yeah, well, it's not promised out either. We're releasing it eventually.
Yeah, we're recording it.
Yeah,
but I'm out of town on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so you might get it this weekend.
Let's go.
Let's talk about F1 at Saudi Arabia.
Actually, pretty entertaining race.
I mean, like I said, dude, Oscar Piastri in countries without human rights.
Lock. It's a lock.
He's Oscar the new Sergio Perez.
Let's just summarize the race. Oscar Piastri pulled a Max Verstappen on the first lap.
Love it.
Love it.
I am a huge Max Verstappen fan. I will brand myself as that. He pulled a Max Verstappen. And Max had, I mean, I get the whole complaining about it and not being left room. You're going to throw your opinion out there to try to get the FIA to not give you a penalty. But I think in a perfect world, that is not a penalty. But the FIA has gotten to the point where they have to penalize that.
Yeah, because that's how they've ruled it in the past. The precedent's been set. If you're ahead at the apex, you can run the guy off the road.
Yeah.
That's kind of been the precedent set. It's the only motorsport with these rules, truly. I mean, every other motorsport has a way better system, which is crazy that F1 has such a bad system. But that's a whole nother episode of its own. But Oscar Piastri left him no room. He was ahead at the apex, ran him off. Max drove on the track, off track, kept going. No places exchange because there was some violence behind them a couple corners later between Yuki and Pierre Gasly.
The besties.
And they spun each other. And then the rest of that was a procedural race. Max got a 5-second penalty, and things stayed as they were. McLaren didn't fumble.
It looks like he was catching up towards the end of the race. I don't know if that was Oscar just managing his tires, or if the McLaren was actually doing kind of bad on Deg this week.
Yeah, which would be shocking for...
but let's talk about Lando. Lando had a shit weekend, honestly.
Yeah, overall, crashing in Q3, bad.
Yeah, I mean, that crash was very much Charles Leclerc-esque, where he was just pushing too hard and quality got up on a curb and lost it.
Yeah, and it was a banker lap, too.
Yeah, that was his first lap, yeah.
So, tough look.
He definitely could have gotten P2 or team orders for the win if he had just put that banker in, I think. Because a banker would have been probably P5.
Yeah. I mean, recovery drive was good. He did waste some time behind some people unnecessarily. Lewis Hamilton walked him like a dog for 2 laps.
The fact that he didn't learn the first time is wild. I think his engineer actually came on the radio. It was, I need to look up the exact team radio, but it was basically like, dude, you're giving him DRS in the straight.
Yeah, so waste time. Lewis couldn't get past Charles in the end, so a P4 for him, which on paper, not a bad recovery drive. I think he could have easily been P3. He wasn't catching Max, but he could have been P3. Regardless, Oscar Piastri leads the championship now.
Any idea how many seconds off of Charles Lando was? It was like 8 or 9, wasn't it?
I think it was tighter than that.
Because you have to think he probably wasted 1.5 seconds per lap battling with Lewis.
1 second.
Oh, he would have had P3.
Yeah, 100%.
If he hadn't done those 2 stupid moves on Lewis, he would have had P3.
So, yeah, I mean, overall, P4
he would have caught Charles. There's question on if he would have overtaken him, but DRS at Saudi Arabia. DRS pass on the front straight.
Yeah, it's kind of a free overtake. But yeah, overall, pretty exciting race. I watched this in the car on my way up to Columbus for
Yeah,
Easter. Good little entertainment in my car.
I watched it in my basement.
Hell yeah, it was good. New Oscar Piastri leading the championship. Cool to see for him, honestly.
Yeah, and
He's
like I think we're seeing that dog that Piastri has in him compared to Lando now. Because I think Lando would have backed off of that move and not shoved
that
Max off the
move,
track.
that move, and what was the other overtake? Yeah, where he went around the outside was
Oh
beautiful.
my god. I know what one you're
On
talking about.
can't remember who was on.
Was it on
Was it on Lewis?
Charles? Or I think it was on one of the Ferraris.
I
Charles
think it was
stayed
on
out
Lewis.
longer. I think it was Charles.
Okay,
Because
but
Charles
just
he did a long run for his first stint. So he would have been on
yeah,
track with Oscar.
but insane around the outside in an unexpected place.
Absolutely
Beautiful.
wild.
Oscar kind of has come to his own this year, and I don't know if Lando will ever get the championship lead back. I
Yeah,
don't know. Oscar might run.
I think that it's hard to say. But I think if Oscar outperforms Lando in the next like 4 or 5 races, it's gonna switch to team orders. Are Oscar's the number one driver? Which I mean, Lando kind of wasted it last year. This is the first year. This is the first year Oscar's in a real title fight, but I mean, he's looking like he's just stone cold, and that's kind of what I saw from him being in F1. He's kind of like a little bit more friendly of a Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, just overall great drive from him. I think it's going to be a great season from him. We'll see what happens in round 9 with the flexi wing changes to see what happens there.
A lot of season to go too. This is after one race. Who knows? Max, if Red Bull gets even their shit slightly together, Max could run with it again.
Yeah.
It's never out of the
One
picture.
good update on that Red Bull and Max will dominate.
Yeah, I mean he's already. I mean, without 5-second penalty, he wins that race. So
Yeah, because he
it
was
is
the
what it is.
fastest car on track.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But good race. Actually, which is shocking to say from F1, but there was actually some good stuff. One thing I want to touch on the race. The Gabriel Bortoleto Alonso incident was hilarious. Just, I mean, so funny. I mean, there was exactly a car length between Bortoleto and the wall,
Yeah,
and Alonso was in that car length. I just want Patrick to watch that and remember that's the amount of space I leave him every corner when we're racing together.
it's
That's the
not.
windows
He
I give
pushes
him.
me into the wall,
I would never do such a thing. False accusations, net
or
code.
he brakes really early, spa turn 1 in Super Formula cars. We're bringing that up again.
I was mad about
This happened like a year ago, but I'm still mad about it because he went on to get a podium, and I did a flip over Ryan's car in DNF.
Seems like one of us had issues, one of us didn't. Oh no! But yeah, good race for F1. Title fight's gonna be spicy this year, I think, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I think we're looking now that we're into the season. I think we're probably looking at like a 3-car title fight at the moment between Lando, Oscar, and Max.
Yep.
Ferrari's kind of looking out of it this season. Lewis is having problems with the car. Charles looking good, but not title contention.
Yeah,
Good.
I mean they're in 5th, and it's not close. George Russell
Yeah,
is still in shooting distance.
that's
He
true.
is at 7. He's in 4th with 73 points. Oscar has 99.
It's kind of like whenever George gets a podium, I forget that he's there, and then I see the podium. It's like, oh yeah, George is on the podium. He's just had a really quiet season this year so far and been consistent.
Yeah.
But let's talk about how our predictions did. Ryan, how did your top 3 go?
My top 3 was just absolutely fantastic. I got 2 of them dead on. I had Piastri in 1st and Leclerc in 3rd on the money. I had Norris sandwiching them. Didn't happen. What are you going to do? Could have been. Lando didn't fuck around Lewis. Maybe that would have had a perfect podium. But you live and learn. How'd your top 3 do, Patrick?
My top 3, I swung for the fences. I thought I had a banger on. I had Oscar winning, George Russell in P2, and Kimi Antonelli in P3. I thought that was looking great just from how the season's gone. Nah, Oscar Piastri win. That's it.
Yeah, well, hey, you'll take it. It's not
I'll
bad.
take a point
Not a
and a
bad
half.
result. What user hit the apex this week, Patrick?
I'm so mad about this. I had Kimi Antonelli as my hit the apex. He finished P6, which on the surface seems like it hit the apex, but I decided to give it the stipulation of top 5 because I don't know, I hate getting stuff right.
Says you who's winning this. I had Alonso top 12, and that shit did hit. So thank you for giving me top 12.
What was he,
I appreciate it.
P12?
I think he was 11th.
I wish that Gabby would have hit him.
Yeah, I bet you do, motherfucker.
How about your who was your miss the apex, Ryan?
I don't know wheel. I had Max Verstappen outside the points.
Whew. I think that's worthy of like minus a point.
No, I swung, and I even said in the episode, it happens once a year. They're going to DNF eventually. It's just a matter of when. I thought it was going to be this week. It was not.
I mean, Yuki did.
Yeah. Yuki sure did.
I had Lando Norris, which, again, putting stipulations on stuff. I had him not in the top 7. He finished P4. Definitely a miss the apex weekend from him, but unfortunately was not out of the top 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they had been on a normal strategy, that might have hit. But McLaren finally went for a not safe strategy, and guess what? It paid off, guys. You didn't do what the book told you to do, and it paid off. Remember that for next time you need to overcut a driver.
Yeah, ain't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Who was your best of the rest?
I had Haas, which
Oof.
was not the case. The real best of the rest was who you had.
I got Williams. I know Wheel. I know Wheel.
Bro knows Wheel. Bro knows Wheel.
Yeah, Williams had a great weekend. Great teamwork between Sainz and Albon to keep him ahead of Isaac Hadjar.
Yeah, real clever there.
But yeah, just a great weekend from them. More great team radio from Alex Albon because the team was telling him to back off when he had a car a second and a half behind him. I think they did forget about the car that was behind him.
Yeah. I was almost spicy this year on the radio.
Yeah. Lance Stroll ending up in a wall. We both went with yes, thinking it was a free space, but
well, I had no, but I said he will spin. That was my stipulation. So
I said yes. I thought it was going to be a Singapore 2023 all over again. Nah, he actually was just slow this week.
Shocker.
But yeah,
good F1 race. Lot to look forward to rest of the season for sure.
And yeah, we've got Dega baby this week.
We got Dega. We going to Dega. We're not going to Dega. NASCAR's going to Dega.
NASCAR. Minus trucks, because evidently trucks don't get no love.
Yeah, I guess not. Big sad. So let's get right into the Dega predictions here. Well, wait, first score update. What is the updated tally?
I don't have that tab open.
49 to 43.5, I believe, if this is to be believed.
Yeah, that's updated.
So 49 to 43.5. It's the gap is slimming, Patrick. 5.5 back. I'm 5.5 back.
Hey, we got to Michael Massey this thing, take it down to the wire, whatever the last race of the season will be, which will probably be F1 Abu Dhabi. I'm guessing.
Does NASCAR go deeper than that?
I don't know. I doubt it, because trying to do that in the U.S. would be a lot harder.
Yeah, that is true.
I want to say NASCAR ends in November, F1 ends in December. But yeah, trying to Michael Massey it, get us even on points for the very last prediction. We'll see. I'm starting to take a couple more swings and being less safe so that Ryan has a chance.
About a damn time.
Hey, I can't help that I just know wheels, so I go with the right answers every week.
I can't help but I don't take easy options. I'm a man and I make real predictions here, right? I make real predictions.
think I
Right?
make the
Just
more
wait.
real predictions because they come true more.
You choose the easiest one.
Because
Hit the
I know
apex.
wheel. Because I know wheel.
Yeah, bro takes
Um,
the easy way. I take the hard way.
yeah, let's talk about our predictions for Dega. Who you got
All
for
right.
your top 3 in Dega?
My top three is a little spicy. A little spicy. It's a little bit of a toss up, I have to say.
Okay.
I got William Byron winning. I know. I'm a changed man. I'm a changed man. I doubt him.
I'm
I'm
getting
wrong.
nervous about my picks now.
I have Ross Chastain P2. It's Dega. Who the hell knows how this
That's
race is going
true.
to end?
That's true.
And in that same vein, I got Brad Keselowski in third.
Okay.
I went out there. I said, you know what? It's Dega. You really don't know what's going to
You
happen.
know what's really wild?
What?
My top 3 is William Byron,
Okay.
Kyle Larson,
Of course, you put Kyle Larson, you little pussy.
and Brad Keselowski.
Wow.
Why do we both have Brad Keselowski in P3? I can understand William Byron being both of our winners because he won Daytona already this year.
Yeah.
I
I
mean
think
Brad
I
Keselowski.
think we both referenced the fall Dega race last year, and Brad Keselowski came in second in the fall race last year.
That's just wild that we
And
both went that way. I
so
mean,
that
at
is
least you
kind of
did put
crazy.
Ricky Crash House in the top 3.
I kind of wanted to, but I did.
Yeah, I think William Byron. I mean, he's coming back off of a Daytona win. But whenever Ryan predicts him to do well, he does bad. So I'm really nervous about this.
So the calculated move by me, if you're wondering, calculated.
Brother hacked my Google account just to see what my predictions are.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, and then I think Kyle Larson P2. I think it's gonna be Hendrick up at the front, personally. But they always seem to do well at super speedways minus Kyle. But he had a decent finish at Atlanta this year, so I think, barring any incidents that aren't his fault, I think he'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, same thoughts here on William Byron, and then the Brad Keselowski and Ross Chastain picks are really just Ross
But they could
Chastain's
definitely come
an
true.
aggressive driver, and
Which means he's either
Dega,
going to avoid the big one or he's going to cause the big one.
yeah. So it really be curious, but it's a chaotic race. It's just like Daytona, you know. You never know what's gonna happen.
Never know
It's
what's going to happen when you're 4 wide.
Yeah, for real.
Someone please,
Can't
actually,
wait.
speaking about 4 wide, let's take it 5 wide. Can somebody make iRacing Super Speedway in real life?
Please.
A 3-mile, hellishly banked oval.
God, the amount of deaths would be insane.
Not even a tri-oval, it's a straight-up oval.
Ryan Priest should be barred from entry from iRacing Super Speedway.
Dude would go into orbit.
Ryan Priest might hit the space station. All right, Ryan Priest might hit the space station if we let him iRacing.
If any of you aren't cultured oval sim racers, just look up iRacing Super Speedway.
It's insane.
You can fit probably 5 wide easily, probably 6 wide.
I've gone 5 wide in the Indy cars.
Yeah, and you can survive it pretty easily. Possible.
Yeah,
I think you probably squeeze a 6th car.
I think there's genuinely 5 lanes. Like, I think it's pretty well 5 lanes. So
you can easily go 6 or 7 wide in the straights.
So that's Dega feels. Interstate traffic when everyone's moving, you know.
Yeah.
Who do you got hitting the apex at Dega, Patrick?
I've got Bubba Wallace bringing out a top 10 this week.
Ooh, he has done good in Dega in the past.
Yeah,
so.
He did really good in Daytona as well, I believe.
He did.
If I'm remembering correctly. And
I think he got wrecked near the end.
Yeah,
right?
I think he might have been my hit the apex for Daytona, but he got wrecked at the end. But yeah, he's had a solid season so far. Had a couple of incidents, but yeah, I think Dega's going to be a strong race from him.
Yeah, I agree. I like that pick. I got SVG hitting the apex. Top 15 is what me and Patrick decided to hit the apex for him, which in Dega is not guaranteed nor easy. Especially with his luck of not finishing races recently, unfortunately. Really hope to see a bounce back from him to start doing good on ovals. And
yeah, the track house is
put your foot to the floor. The track house is slow. The track house is not looking good this year. Wondering a lot if it has something to do with the internal turmoil, perhaps, going on.
Maybe.
So we're curious to see this develop over time, see if anything more comes out about all that. But
But
man,
also
speaking
shout
of
out,
missing,
speaking of Trackhouse, Trackhouse was not who did the Garage 56 entry, but I don't think it was. That was a Hendrick car, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that was a Hendrick car. But Amazon Prime, June 12th, the whatever the title is, the Garage 56 documentary comes out. May
American
20,
Muscle to
bringing American Muscle to Le Mans.
yeah, I think that's
Something
what it
like
was.
that. Or bringing the American Roar to Le Mans.
American Thunder NASCAR to Le Mans.
Okay. That's coming out June 12th on Prime, and then May 26th on Prime is the Kyle Larson double documentary from last year. We'll see how that is. I hope they make a new one this year, if he can actually race in both races. Because that'll just be very Indy 500 centered. But yeah, who is your... You already said you're Miss the Apex.
No, I haven't.
No, you didn't. I don't know. I just automatically thought SVG and Miss the Apex. Who is your Miss the Apex?
I'm going friendly fire here. I'm shooting my own team. I had Denny Hamlin missing the Apex. I don't think he's going to get involved in a wreck. It's just how it is.
Yeah. It's Denny Hamlin against the world. We're the world. We both have him as our Miss the Apex.
Wow. What is going on today, man?
Dude, we're locked in for our Dega predictions. These are either all gonna flop or all come true.
Yeah.
There is no in between.
I know who caused the big one. I know that's different.
Yeah, because you know I can't get on the Carson Hocevar hype. I'm just figuring with you saying that that's who you have causing it. Look, you saw him race in Dega on iRacing. He only almost hooked Cleater like 4 times.
But
how many big ones do you think there are going to be, Ryan?
I got 3.
Okay.
How many you got?
I got 4. I think they're going to be a little bit more misbehaving. What are we classifying as a big one again? 6+ cars?
Yeah, I think 6+ cars.
Kind of just vibes, too.
Yeah, a little vibe to it as well. Little vibes to it.
And then who do you have causing the biggest one?
Well, I have Carson Hocevar causing the biggest one. You clocked me there, 100%.
I don't think you're right on this one.
What do you think?
I think he'll be involved in a big one through no fault of his own. I think Cole Custer is going to cause the big one.
Okay.
He caused the biggest one at Daytona, I think. He caused the final.
Yeah.
The final big one, which I think was tied for biggest one. Definitely the biggest one in terms of consequence. But yeah, I think Cole Custer Spotter's going to fuck up again and call him to the line, even though he is sitting on the back stretch after causing a big one.
Incredible.
Love that.
Incredible.
You're 2 clear, 1 clear, 2 back, 1 back. Oh man, I had the wrong car.
Incredible. Incredible stuff.
Imagine thinking your car's driving to the win at Daytona and nope, he's on the backstretch.
Yeah.
Especially would have been wild because that would have been their first race as an independent, not an independent team, but as a newly rebranded team.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was Haas Factory Team's first race, which they just got a new sponsor on board with Ollie's Bargain Outlet.
I saw that.
I got tripped out and thought it was the F1 team at first. And I'm like,
because I saw Ollie. I said Ollie Behrman. Ollie Behrman.
I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I don't think Ollie's has F1 money, but pop off Queen. And then I just saw Haas Factory Team, and I'm like, okay.
My dumbass at work was really tired, and I saw Ollie's and Haas and thought, Ollie Behrman? Why is Ollie Behrman on the NASCAR? I said, I'm confused. And
bro, I'd love to see Ollie do a race in NASCAR.
Real question is LTT NASCAR sponsorship win? That's all I got to ask.
They're Formula One guys, though.
Are they?
Yeah, a lot of them are actually into Formula One. I think Linus has talked about it a decent amount. But they definitely don't have F1 money, but they've got IndyCar money. I'm gonna just say Xfinity sponsorships are cheaper than I thought. Or no, it was an ARCA sponsorship. I got an Instagram ad about sponsoring an ARCA car. Highly affordable.
How much we talking?
Packages range between $100 and $5,000.
Oh, bro, they're charging on the credit card. Let's run this
Yeah.
shit.
I
That's
mean, like
fire.
5,000. Is that like title sponsor for a race?
For a bummy team, I guess. Yeah, maybe.
It was the guy who's the pizza guy. That's the only reason I didn't pull the trigger on dropping $100 on an outside line media sponsorship.
Pizza guy.
The guy that loves pizza, like his race suit straight up is just like pizza down the side.
Oh, no,
The guy that was crying at the Daytona 500 because his team got into the ARCA race at Daytona.
Oh, I don't know his name, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him. That's why I didn't pull the trigger on a $100 sponsorship. But I might have to search for some teams and do one.
That's fire.
I want to know what the $5,000 package gets you.
Be something to look into.
That's a very reasonable price considering I can do a pitch competition and potentially win $8,000, and we could spend $5,000 of that on a sponsorship.
This is true.
Except I'd rather do that for like a USF team, honestly, I think.
And I don't think that's a wise use of $5,000 for advertising.
Definitely not, especially
money
for
just gets dumped.
a race car, like a racing themed company.
Yeah, you're not really.
Now, like a couple $100 to chuck it on and just get our logo put on somewhere on a car, just to be like, hey guys, our logo's on a fucking car.
Oh yeah, we're doing that. We're doing that. I'm here for it. But yeah, overall, I'm really excited for Dega. Cleater is running once again.
Yeah, he's running the ARCA race at Dega. Should be a fun time. He's also running the ARCA race at Bristol in September. Had to remember which one just got announced.
Yep. So
I'm excited that he's not driving just in straight lines anymore, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how he does. Excited. So he got some teaching from Dale Jr. He got some lessons from Dale Jr. on Talladega. I guess he currently would be on his way to Dega in a RV.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Consuela, but he's got the RV
there
already.
I don't know. I started watching the video earlier and then got preoccupied of the $5,000 RV challenge getting down to Dega. So should be exciting. Overall, hype for that. A lot of racing this weekend. Actually, not that much. NASCAR, obviously, the only main series, but we got GT World Challenge Americas at Coda.
That is free on their YouTube.
Free on their YouTube. We got DTM at
Asushlaban, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Yep.
Don't know where you watched that. Did not look at that one.
MotoGP at
Jerez. And
WRL.
And that is going to be on Fox Business Network, probably.
Yep. And WRL, Road America, which is YouTube.
Free on their YouTube.
Should be about dirt season for a lot of people, I feel like. Right?
Yeah, we actually have a discussion to have after this. There is a sprint car race on Saturday.
Ooh,
I am very tempted by it. Lawrenceburg Speedway has a 305 race there.
Oh, I think I will be getting myself to...
Maybe invite the Podium Pop crew to their first dirt race.
Make some phone calls.
Might have to throw a text in the chat. You guys might have a little bit of content from the dirt track this weekend. We'll see. I'm kind of tempted by it. It's just a nice, nice local race. So no national series, just some 305s at Lawrenceburg. I think it's winged too. Can't remember if it's winged or non-winged.
Fuck yeah!
But love me some sprint cars.
But my point on that: get to your local dirt track, figure 8 track, drag strip. I don't give a shit. Get out there.
At least try to make it to at least one short track race, whether it's dirt or paved. But
yeah,
if you only watch cars go in a straight line, you're severely missing out from cars going in circles.
Yes.
And if you only watch cars going in circles, you're missing out on watching cars go in fancy circles. Watch your drivers turn right too.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Patrick's busy. He's got paper, which I'll wish him a fun time. He's going out of town. He's abandoning me. So rude. So
Yeah, but
rude.
I'll at
But
least be back for the weekend, unlike Sam. Sam's out of
I
town this
know.
weekend. Shout
Unbelievable.
out to my cousin
So
for getting married on a Thursday. So I can get
baller move,
trashed on a
honestly.
Thursday,
Baller move,
and I'm back
honestly.
for the weekend. I'll
I
be back
respect
Friday
it.
afternoon. If it's nice weather Friday afternoon, let's go riding.
Ooh, baller move, brother. Baller move. My helper already said he ain't coming to work Friday, so I might not also work. We'll see.
I mean, I probably won't be back by 3, so
We'll figure it out.
it's like an 8-hour drive, brother.
But yeah, have a good week. Like, subscribe, comment. Comment if you think Carson Hostfire is gonna right rear or left rear hook somebody. Let me know.
I think he's
Honestly, I
gonna have
really
a
want to know.
clean front to back bumper.
That's crazy. I
He
respect
got
it, though.
practice and he got his hooking out of the way in iRacing.
This is true. This is true. Thank you guys. Have a good week. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.